Hello guys, I'm here to make a short tutorial for you guys on how to make the videos for your Overly app work correctly and make them in a way that the app understands them. So this is what we're going for, but this is what it actually looks like, the actual file that needs to be made in order for that to happen. Okay, so in order to make such a file, you're going to have to open up Adobe After Effects and make a new composition. So this composition, let's call it tutorial. It has to be twice the size of a regular 1080p video stacked on top of each other. That makes it the same width, 1920, but the height has to be 2160 pixels. So that gives you this, a transparent composition, just exactly as you want it. The next thing you have to do is import your footage. Now your footage might be a different kind of resolution, doesn't really matter as long as you can import it. And it covers up exactly half of your created composition. Why? Because now you're simply going to press Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V while selecting the clip, and now you have two of them. So take the bottom one and move it down to the bottom. So just zoom in here and adjust it so that it fits the composition exactly and covers the whole pixel space. Now what you have is just two unkeyed green screen footages on top of each other within one composition. And before you key this, you're going to have to make the background. So right click, new, solid. Let's call this background and just make it black. Now move your background to the very bottom. Now it's under these clips. So the next thing you have to do is you have to key your green screen footage. Personally, I use Keylight, but there's a lot of ways how to key your footage. I'm sure you can look up another tutorial for that, but I'm just going to run through this really quickly. So select an average green color within your shot and play around with the settings until you've reached a pretty good result. For the sake of the tutorial, I'm just going to be doing this pretty quickly just to show you the basics of it. So now that you have keyed your footage, simply copy the Keylight settings to the bottom clip, and now you have two keyed videos on top of each other. Just to double check if they're keyed, you can simply turn off your background and see that the background is transparent. So now let's turn it back on. And as you saw in the example in the very beginning of the video, you have to make one of the videos completely white, as it's going to be using that as a luma mask. So to achieve that, we're going to use a curves adjustment on the bottom layer. I'm just going to drop it, and we're just going to overexpose that clip. Yes, we're just going to overexpose it. And that gives us the result we want. Now, assuming you have keyed your green screen footage correctly, there should be no further problems. So the next thing you have to do is you have to render your video. For this, I'm going to open up my render queue by pressing Ctrl+M. And personally, I use Adobe Media Encoder to render all my footage from After Effects. So I'm just going to queue this in my Adobe Media Encoder. And I'm just going to go into the settings, and by leaving everything else as it is by the default settings, I'm simply going to lower the bitrate to make the video file a bit smaller. So now I'm just going to press OK and play. Now once this video is going to be rendered, I'm going to go into the Overly website and show you how to upload this video file and check if it's working correctly. So once we're in the Overly webpage, we're going to show you how you can use your video. So you click on video and you're going to upload the video you have just made. And once it's done uploading, you're going to have to select the actual video you have just uploaded. So it's marked by blue as selected, and you're going to click transparent. That will combine the video into one. And then you can resize it and move it, for the sake of the tutorial, just like in the beginning, to the right side of your marker. Once you're done, you have to press publish.